welcome to my channel. My name is Tess. Today is the 7th of February 2021. I know we all say this, but where on earth has the last month gone? I swear I blinked and January was done. Before I get into my update for January, I would like to give a massive thanks to all my new subscribers and those that have joined me in my journey. I'm not sure if it was my whip parade, my Stitch with Me, or something completely random, but thank you so much for coming. It means so much that you're going to spend time with me. And it is probably a little while away, but I am planning on doing a giveaway once I reach 500 subscribers. So I think I've got about 50-ish to go. So just want to put that out into the world. But yeah, when I hit 500, I am going to be doing a giveaway. Next up, sorry, I do have notes, so I am looking down. My first Stitch with Me went up, I think, a fortnight ago. That seemed to go pretty well. I know in the beginning when I was editing it was a bit funny with the focus, but it seemed to have fixed itself through the video. I really enjoyed it. It was a little bizarre speaking for half an hour. Like, I know I do it with my videos now, but there's something different about telling a story while I'm showing you versus essentially talking to myself. But I'm sure it will get easier. So if you do have any questions which you want me to cover in a Stitch with Me, feel free to leave them below. I am hoping to do Stitch with Me once a month in the off fortnight of my update. And I'm also thinking I will do like Flosstube extras that I will post at random times, probably not the weekend of a Stitch with Me or an update. And these things will include like going through my planner setup, which I was hoping to have for this video, but of course I changed absolutely everything 3 days ago, so that's not ready. As well as my whips in potentia. And if there's anything else that you think I could cover as a Flosstube extra, again, leave it below and I'll see what I can do. I think that's pretty much it for the admin-y side of things. So, of course, everything is itchy now. We will get started. At the end of January, I finished with 12,612 stitches, which is huge. Now, part of that, sorry, Luna, part of that I think is Magical Stitches. I joined that group this year and have been loving the challenges. Haven't been completing as many as I would like, but every stitch counts. And I think part of it was that there was no school and dance. So while that may not seem like a huge thing, and I can stitch at dance, I do lose a lot of time in the travel and the organising and everything else like that. So I do expect my stitches to decrease, but I'm not mad. And I think we'll get into it. I will go through all of my whips. There are a lot. Again, Magical Stitches has encouraged me to work on ones that I probably wouldn't have just picked up, though I am going to try and work on every single one of my whips this year. And at the end of the year, if I haven't worked on a particular whip, I'll sort of think, is it because I don't like it, or is it just because I've got 64 whips and counting and just didn't get around to it? I want my whips to be something that I love and not just sitting there because I started them on a whim, which has happened many, many times Anyway, moving on. Now let's get into my whips. The way I'm going to show my progress is shamelessly stolen with permission from Hannah Dowling. I will link her video below. Are you right there, Bubby? So first up, as always, is Haystack Sunset by Jeff Pritchard. Here is a photo of what it will look like when it's done and where I was last time. I know. And I have put in 2,618 stitches. Not a lot considering it is my focus piece, but you'll see why later on. And this is where it is now. As I said, not a huge amount of progress, but I have still worked on it every single day. And it's still on track to be finished at my goal. And thanks again to Hannah. Here is a photo comparison of the progress. Next up, I have Fairy Bubbles by Josephine Wall. If you saw my plans video, I was intending on working on this every Saturday of the year. That has not happened. There's a few reasons. It's a lot of fabric, and being max color, I knew there'd be confetti. I didn't realize it would be as much or as annoying as it is, and pulling from my master set is just super annoying when I'm pulling it for 1 or 2 stitches. I am working on kitting this up. I still want to work on it, but I'm not sure if it'll be as often as I hoped. But anyway, here's a photo of what it will eventually look like and where it was last time. And this is where it is now. So not a lot. I only managed 158 stitches before I just wasn't enjoying it. But again, I'm working through ways of changing that. And again, here is a comparison photo. Next, I have my first new start of the year, The Bookcase by, I think it's Galliana Designs. This is a style. Beth, the Desert Stitcher, started it with someone. I think it's just hashtag book sale. I'll put information down below. Here is a photo of what it will look like when it is eventually finished. And I am doing this on a Fortnite Fabric Eccentric Sky with DMC 760. And I only put in 171 stitches, so it is super not a lot, but I did only work on that January 1st at midnight. Haven't pulled it out since. There is no comparison photo, but I will put in a pretty photo of where it is now. Next up is another new start. This was my personal planned new start for the new year. New year, new start, whatever. It is Farewell to Anger by Leonid Afromov. Here's a photo of what it will look like when it is done. I am probably going to restart this. I was planning on doing this whip 2/1 tent, just because it's quicker. It's a supersized piece, of course, and I thought that the tent would kind of lend itself to Leonid's artwork, but I started this at 1 AM on January 1st, so I forgot. So I've put in 171 stitches, but again, I think, why aren't you focusing? I think I will probably restart that, just so I've got an opportunity to finish it eventually. And again, there was no before photo as it's a new start, but I will put in a pretty or a nicer You know what I'm saying. Okay, next up I have Peppermint Purple Cell, obviously by Peppermint Purple. I can put a photo of the finished piece because I'm kind of working 2020 and 2021. I've restart 2020, haven't done a huge amount. I don't have a before photo because this is the start of the next border piece thing. So I'm going to say this all the time. I need to pull it out, but it just hasn't happened. I did kind of plan. Oh, I'll go over that later in my plans. Let's write that down because I didn't. Plans. Let's hope that's enough to remind me. Okay, next up is Space Traveller by David Hofreicher. Sorry if I've butchered that name. Here is a photo of where it was before. No, what it will look like and where it was before. And this is where it is now. I have put in... She's really annoying today. Yes, you are. I've put in 248 stitches. And I pulled this out for a Magical Stitches prompt. I think it was week 2, Meet the Gods. I used it for Hermes with Travel. Then this is where all my stitching went. Story Time by Aruda Art Gecko Rouge. This is what it will look like when it's finished and where I was last time. And this is where it is now. It's a lot and I'm obsessed and can't stop putting it, like, it started with one challenge and I can't stop working on it. So I did put in the first couple of stitches on Meet the Gods Apollo Youth, and I've just stitched pretty much every day since. I've put in 7,087 stitches. I am at 35.57%, and I'm actually on track to finish this by the end of April, which I am so excited about. It's so much smaller than I expected. I was surprised when I reached the end, this side, when I reached the edge of the piece, but I am in love. So this is why Haystack hasn't had quite as many stitches. And I did get gifted the matching needle minder from a friend, and I am in love. And here is a comparison photo before and after. Getting there. Next up, I've got Watermill by Michael Powell. Here's what it will look like when it's done and where I was last time. And here's where it is now. I put in 288 stitches. Again, it was a Magical Stitches prompt. Meet the Gods. I'm gonna butcher this word. Hephaestus? Sorry. House Ingenious Design. I'm gonna lose it at Luna. You probably can't see, but I've put one of the little stars in just because I was getting sick of the blue. But there's that. Next up is a piece I worked on during my Stitch With Me, Dogwood. Cindy Christensen, I'm pretty sure. I will correct myself if I'm wrong. So here is what it will look like when it's finished and where it was last time. And bigger than I expected. And this is where it is now. If you can tell, I am in love with Hannah and the way she does things, so I have been doing the feathering, which I love, and I'm also doing not just the waist threads to finish, but I'm also starting my threads like this purely so it's easier to record, so I don't have to try and flip it back and forth. But I put in 268 stitches during the hour that I was stitching. My video is only half an hour. I did speed it up because no one wants to sit there watching me stitch for an hour. Love it, and that will be my Stitch With Me piece for the whole year, or until it's finished, which will not be this year. And here is the comparison photo. Okay, next up I have Motherhood by Selena Fenich. This is Lachlan's. I thought I was doing Logan's as the oldest because his favourite colour is green. Turns out we flipped it because he's going to have a green wall, so I'm going to give him the blue. I stitched on Lachlan's instead. Here is what it will look like when it's done and where it was last time. And I put in 1009 stitches, trying to remember which way is up. This way? I think it's this way. And again, this was for Magical Stitches, Mythical Creatures, Mermaid. Originally, I was going to do 350 stitches on each of the 3 whips, because I was told that being the same chart, I could split it across the 3. But I got lazy and I didn't want to flip or change them out. So I just did them all on that, and I'll catch up the other 2 later. And here is a comparison photo. Oh, baby. Sorry. Last whip that I worked on was Small Magellanic Cloud by NASA. This is what it will look like when it's done. But it will have a restart. This is, if you've been here a while or have caught up on videos, this is the queen bed size piece of fabric. I would love to have this piece this large on the wall. I could not get it to work with the amount of excess fabric. I couldn't find a comfortable spot to stitch in. There was too much going everywhere. My back was killing me after only 600 stitches. So I will be eventually restarting this on 28 count, but that will not be for a while because I don't have it. But anyway, I'm glad I figured it out, 700 stitches in and not more than that. So this is what I got up to. Obviously doesn't really matter because it will be gone. You can see how many methods I tried to stitch nicely. I wanted to do the feathering that Hannah suggested, but I also wanted to work on 20 by 20 blocks because it was so much, and that didn't work because pieces got everywhere, and these are parked, but I've cut them because it's gone. So yeah, but that's okay. I will eventually unpick this, and I will find many, many uses for this huge piece of fabric. I've already got 2 in the works, which I will be starting very soon. I just wanted to show you the fail first. So I won't do the before and after comparison because it's going to be gone. That's it for all of my stitching. So much more than normal, thanks to Magical Stitches. Like, if without that, it probably would have just been Haystack, maybe one other, well, plus the new starts. But anyway, that's stitching. Let's get into purchases. I've got my standard Silk of the Month and Fortnight fabrics to show. I have both December and January for both of them. because I think my January update was super early and they weren't here. Yes, this is December. So this is the Silk of the Months for December. Super pretty. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Very nice. Lovely subtle colours, and I don't know what I'm doing with most of them, but I can't stop. And this is my January, if I can get them to sit nicely. Beautiful colours. Love it. They're my silks. Now, my daughter has lent me a box lid to try and hopefully show the Fortnite fabrics. Words are hard. And I am on the hunt for something to actually do properly. Anyway, words. This is first piece from December. This was it the neutral colorway. And this is Nausea Black Truffle. That's pretty true. It's maybe showing a little darker, but it's gorgeous. You can see I do need to start using Fortnite fabrics more because I've got a lot. And then the other one is Christmas Cactus, again for December. Yeah, that's not bad. This is not an easy way to show fabric, but let's see if it actually makes a difference. And then in January, I have joined all 4 Fabric of the Month Club because I couldn't choose. So I'm going to have a lot. My computer's gone to sleep. So this is Ruth, which I believe was their subtle samplers. Yeah, that box did nothing. And as the name says, it's very subtle and it's very nice. Then I have the 12 Shades of Grey, Pardon Me. That's pretty true. It is lovely. And the Opalescent Work Bitch. Oops. This is so pretty. And the opalescent, you can kind of see it, but that is really lovely. I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but it's pretty just to have. And then lastly was the famous duos. I thought they would all be on here. It just says L&S. I can't remember who the duo was, but that one is probably my favourite of the month. Big surprise there, a purpley thing. So that is my fabric of the month and silk of the month, and love them all. My next purchase was, it's not going to look like it was when I bought it. We had a dyeing day, my friends and I, where we got blank fabric, or white fabric, white floss, and we dyed it, and I'm in love. This is was dyed for a specific project. I'm hoping to do the Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 sale. I'm going to show you the floss and then kind of open the fabric, and it's a lot to handle, and it's probably all going to fall. So they're showing pretty true. Maybe they're showing a little brighter than they actually are. So I am doing 3 colours hopefully, as Manda from Pennington Terrace is doing. I didn't know how much of each colour I would need because obviously it's charted for 2 colours. So I just did 3 skeins of each because I think 3 was the most I would need for the most stitches, and I don't care if I don't use it all. And I know I did them myself, but I'm just so in love with the twists. I love twisting things now that I've figured out how. And this is the fabric I've dyed, and it is exactly what I was looking for. I'm so happy that it worked out. The floss is mostly what I was going for. There's not as much of a difference between the light and the dark. Maybe we'll work for this. There's not as much of a difference for the light and the dark teal as I would have liked. I don't know if I should like over dye, try again, or just not. I'll see how it goes. May end up only using 2 of the 3, but I'm so excited to get that started. This is more of a maroon than a red. Does that help? No. It's really not showing, but eventually I will get that started. I don't know when, but it's ready to go. The only other thing I remember buying was a special request flipped chart from Michelle at Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing, I did not get the designer for this one. I think it's Christina Quiltis. Silent Night by Heaven and Earth Designs. Yes, baby. I will put a photo here of both of them. Yeah, Katarina Quiltis. Katarina Kokotis. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry. So I ordered the flipped version as I'm planning on doing these as a birth sampler for my 2, and they will sort of face each other while they're at home and on our wall. And if they want to take them with them when they move out, it's not going to be weird. Like flipping it's not going to make it bizarre to sit on its own. So I am hoping to start that relatively soon. Now that I've shown you my disaster on Small Magellanic Cloud, I will probably use that fabric and get started soon. Almost at the end. Thank you guys. You've been amazing if you're still around. I do have 3 new to me channels, and I'm pretty sure they're also new within the time period that I've missed kind of in January. There is Evelyn at Evelyn Across the Pond. She is gorgeous. I'm pretty sure she's an American living in the UK. She's got a couple of videos up. Next up is Victoria and Chris, and at Stitchy Fix. They're mother-daughter duo, and love it. Love what they work on. Love their energy. Really enjoyable to watch. And last but certainly not least is Jaina, the Stitchy Reader. Again, she's got a couple of videos. I think she started just before the end of last year. And I do apologize in advance if you ever watch this and I've misspelt your name in the comment or the description. I just took it from your closed captions because it's a gorgeous name. I've never actually heard it before. So apologies if I do spell your name incorrectly. I just grabbed it from closed captions because I couldn't see it in your description box anywhere. So that's who I've been watching outside of my normal catch-up rotation thing. Next up is plans. You right there, baby? In February, as I said, it's going to be slower stitching. It already has this week. I'm going to continue working on story time because I would love to have that finished in April. Haystack Sunset, obviously. I was hoping to have a rotation at work on my lunch break. Peppermint, Haystack, story time, gridding. I can't remember what the last one was, but I know this is bad and I know I shouldn't. Last week I didn't actually take any of my lunch breaks because work was just too much. Everything, of course, was a priority. It had to be done. I'm hoping things will eventually settle down. My new boss did come back properly last week, so there was a lot of organising and everything. But yeah, so I hope to bring out my peppermint and gridding, which I'm not going to show you, but I'm only a couple of months away from hopefully starting part 3 of Haystack, and I need to get that done. I think I said start Silent Night for both the kids. I think that's it. I think, and do as many of the magical stitches prompts as possible. I think that's it. I'm going to remember something as soon as I finish recording, but that will do for now. And again, if you've got any questions for my Stitch With Me recommendations for my Flosstube extras, anything at all, let me know below, and I will see you in a fortnight with my next Stitch With Me. Bye guys.